Okay, so let's talk about the drugs that are, well, they're everywhere right now. You'd pretty much have to be living under a rock to not have heard about these new GLP-1 agonist drugs. They're all over the news, people are calling them miracle shots, and honestly, they really are changing the game for things like diabetes and weight management. But is it really that simple? Is it just a miracle in a needle? That's what we're going to dig into.
Right. That's the big question, isn't it? The miracle shot. Is it a cure or is there a catch? Are these medications the answer we've all been waiting for to finally tackle some of our toughest chronic diseases? Or do we need to pump the brakes and be really, really cautious? Well, as you're about to see, the answer isn't black and white. It's a whole lot of gray.
And, let's be super clear. The stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't just about fitting into old jeans. We're talking about cardiometabolic health. That's that huge tangled web of heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes that affects millions and millions of people. So this new class of drugs, it's not just another weight loss trend. It could totally revolutionize how we approach these massive health challenges.
So what even are these things? GLP-1 receptor agonists. It sounds complicated, but the idea behind them is actually pretty brilliant. Basically, they mimic a hormone your own body makes naturally. Every time you eat, your gut releases this hormone. These drugs are just a super-powered version of that signal. They help your body control blood sugar, they slow down your digestion, and, this is the big one, they make you feel full. Really full.
So how do they pull all this off? Well, it's like a four-pronged attack on the problem. First, they tell your pancreas, hey, release some insulin. Then they tell it, oh, and stop making that other stuff that raises blood sugar. At the same time, they slow down how fast your stomach empties, which is huge for feeling full longer. And finally, they send this really strong signal straight to your brain that says, hey, we're good here, no more food needed. It's a really smart, comprehensive system.
And look, the results are, honestly, they're staggering. And this goes way beyond just the number on the scale. We're talking about hard data, real clinical trials, showing these drugs reduce major cardiac events. We're talking heart attacks and strokes. They lead to fewer hospitalizations for heart failure. They lower blood pressure. They improve cholesterol. I mean, these are literally life-saving outcomes. It's a huge deal.
And the science is not slowing down for a second. Now we're seeing the next generation, drugs like tirzepatide. Some people are calling it a twin cretin. Kind of catchy, right? It's because it's a dual agonist. It mimics two of these helpful gut hormones, not just one. And that makes it even more powerful.
Okay, so the upside is massive, the benefits are clear, they're powerful, they're proven. It almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, this is where our story takes a really sharp turn. Because with all this incredible power comes a hidden price, a really significant one, that frankly, people just aren't talking about enough.
And here it is. This might be the single most important thing to understand. The quote says it all. About 40% of the weight loss is muscle mass loss. Let that sink in. Without the right strategy, nearly half of the weight people are celebrating losing isn't fat. It's their essential, metabolically active muscle. 40%. I just want to pause on that number for a second. This is not a small thing. Losing that much muscle, it's a condition called sarcopenia, is a massive health risk. It's not about how you look. It completely wrecks your metabolism, making it so much easier to gain all the weight back later. It can affect your balance, your strength, your energy. It basically ages you on the inside.
And it's not just muscle loss. There's a whole list of other potential side effects that are cropping up. We're hearing about severe GI issues like constipation, some reports of vision changes, worries about bone loss, and this one is really fascinating, a feeling of apathy, like people just lose their motivation, their drive to do things. So yeah, this is definitely not a simple take a shot and forget it kind of deal.
And this brings us to a really fundamental idea. This quote just nails it. It's not the nature of the disease, it's the nature of a cause that's unaddressed. So if you're just throwing medication at a problem and it keeps getting worse, maybe the issue isn't the disease itself. Maybe, just maybe, we never dealt with what was causing the problem in the first place. That thought is the key to a completely different way of looking at health.
I love this analogy. Imagine your kitchen sink is overflowing and water is just pouring all over the floor. You could run around frantically, getting bigger and bigger mops, more buckets. That's like taking a drug to manage a symptom. Or you could just walk over and turn off the faucet. One approach is about managing the mess forever. The other is about stopping the problem at its source.
So this really highlights two totally different ways to think about these GLP-1 drugs. The common view sees them as a magic bullet, a quick fix for weight loss. But a functional view, it sees them as a powerful tool, a temporary tool that can give you the leverage, the breathing room you need to finally make real, lasting lifestyle changes.
And this means we have to completely change the conversation. We need to stop focusing on just weight loss. That number on the scale, it can be so misleading. The real goal, the only goal that matters for long-term health, is optimizing your body composition. That means losing fat, for sure, but, and this is the critical part, holding on to or even building that precious muscle.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we use these powerful drugs the right way? Let's walk through a blueprint for lasting health, for using GLP-1s wisely.
All right, here's what a smarter strategy looks like. Step 1, start low. You want the lowest effective dose, not the highest you can tolerate. The goal isn't to kill your appetite, just to manage it. Step 2 is non-negotiable. You have to prioritize protein, and you have to do strength training. This is your #1 defense against that muscle loss. Step 3, ditch the regular scale and monitor your body composition. You need to know if you're losing fat or muscle. Step 4, you've got to address the fundamentals: nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress. And finally, step 5, and this is so important, have an exit plan to taper off the medication from day 1. Because at the end of the day, the drug is not the cure. It's not. The real foundation for success, the thing that will keep you healthy for life, is built on these modifiable lifestyle factors: your nutrition, your movement, your sleep, your stress. Think of the drug as temporary scaffolding. You use it to build the strong, permanent house of your health, and then you take the scaffolding away. I absolutely love this quote. My goal is actually not to calorie restrict you, it's to calorie optimize you. This is such a huge mindset shift. It's not about eating less and less until you're starving. It's not about restriction. It's about making every single calorie count. It's about quality over quantity. Nourishment, not deprivation. And that is a game you can actually win for the rest of your life.
So if you remember just one thing, remember this. The ultimate goal is to see this medication as a bridge. That's all it is. It's a temporary support structure that helps you cross over from a place of, metabolic chaos and constant cravings to a new, healthier place. A place where you've built habits that are strong enough to hold you up on their own, long after that bridge is gone.
So in the end, how can I lose weight well, it's the wrong question. It's too simple. The real question we all need to be asking ourselves, whether we're patients or doctors, is this: are we just using these tools to change a number on a scale, or are we using them to build true, resilient, and lasting health? Because those are two very, very different goals.